Want to talk about Matt Hardy first, or you want to talk about Cena, Goldberg, Bray Wyatt?
Let's talk about Matt Hardy because, you know, he did. I saw the video. It was about 8 minutes long. I don't know if did you get a chance to see it?
I have 3 minutes of it now spliced. That if you let me, I'll share it with everybody. Sure. People can hear it on audio. Those could watch it on video. It just gets right to the point as far as Matt Hardy's announcement that was done earlier today. I think you all will find it interesting.
I promised to each and every one of you that I would update you on my current contractual status. Right now, it is just a little past midnight. We have just entered Monday, and that is March 2nd, 2020. And my WWE contract was set to expire on midnight of March 1st. And this is what's happened. As of this current time, I have decided to let my contract with WWE expire. I am going to become a free agent, and that's not saying I'm not going to return to WWE. I did not want to leave WWE. I love WWE. WWE is my home. WWE has treated me great as an employee for the last 3 years. They've been good to me. They've been good to my family. They've been great to my kids. I have nothing but great things to say about WWE and all of the people that work there. And going back 20 plus years ago, if it wasn't for Vince McMahon, I would not have been able to obtain the quality of life that I currently have. So I will always be grateful for that, and I will always be appreciative of that. I didn't want to leave WWE because it is my home. The reason I needed to leave WWE is because when it comes to my creative stance and my creative outlook on myself and my career and how I wanted to go for these last 3 or 4 years that I have to spend as an active in-ring competitor, I just think myself and WWE are on different pages. And it's very important to me because I love this business, man. If you know me, you know how crazy passionate I am about this and how much I love it. And the last 3 or 4 years that I have as an in-ring competitor is really important to me to cement my legacy. And I want to enter a creative renaissance. I am not obviously 25 or 30 years old. I'm 45 years old, and I have to be utilized in a certain way. But I still know in my heart, I know I have so much to offer this business. I have so much entertainment left inside this vessel, and I have so much that I want to give to each and every one of you. I want to enter a creative renaissance, and I want to have nonstop input on my creative process. And I think that's where WWE and I are on different pages. So that is the reason that I'm going to take a break and step away from WWE. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm not going to return to WWE. I am positive home back with WWE once again. I mean, I think there's definitely a WWE Hall of Fame ring waiting on myself and my brother. But I think right now, I need to weigh all my options. I need to see what all's out there, and I need to see what is going to be the perfect environment for Matt Hardy to maximize these next few years in his career. And to be able to really give me a creative canvas to paint my masterpiece, because that is what I want to do right now. That is what I want to do. And I don't have a lot of time. I feel like time is ticking. I'm too old to waste time. I have to do it now. I can't wait a year, 2 years. I've got to do it now. So that is why I am officially becoming a free agent.
Now, for those that may want to see the entire video, you go to youtube.com/Matt Hardy brand. As you said, it was about 8 minutes long. Look, we talked about it last week and a week before, and it's not about money right now. And I think I said this last week that 5 years from now, he could be a WWE agent. He could be a producer. He could be a trainer. But he's in the twilight now of his career, and he still could put some real big quality, good quality years in front of the camera. And something I said about 3 or 4 weeks ago that I'll say again right now. If he ends up in AEW, and honestly, to me, that's the only place he could go. I mean, I know he's teasing that he's going to watch Ring of Honor and MLW and NWA and Impact Wrestling. It's just, if you look at those feds, first of all, NWA, there's only a 1 hour show right now. Unless that canvas is the size of a Post-it note, he ain't going to have enough time to be that creative there. Impact Wrestling is just, it's still on a big road to recovery. I don't think they have enough ingredients for him to do his masterpiece like before. Now, look, you look at the Dark Order. I mean, you really dissect it. Does anybody look broken there? You know what I mean? So it would be more of, it would be a change in the Matt Hardy character. He would be more of like a cult follower. Yeah. Who knows? I mean, Matt Hardy could be brought into a company and they don't even go to that, broken area. Matt Hardy, it sounds like what we said before. He wants to be very creative. He wants to perform a couple of more years, especially as his kids get a little older, they can actually understand what he's doing in the ring. It feels like AEW has enough time and more than one show where he could really expand his creative juices, and we'll wait and see. I don't know if he'll be the exalted one, and look, there's always that possibility he goes back to WWE and NXT, but WWE tonight on their website wished Matt Hardy the best in his future endeavors. But they did say that his contract expired and this and that. They had to do that pretty much because Matt Hardy went public and told everybody, look, I let my contract expire. So I personally don't think that he would return and be involved in NXT. Unless they're willing to do a major storyline and let him do his broken in front of the camera, not behind the camera. And I just don't see that in NXT. What do you think?
No, I don't think so. I think he's going to take some time off, or maybe he might appear right away at AEW. I'm not sure, but AEW bound for sure. He's not going to appear anywhere else. I think AEW is, he's in North Carolina, not that far from Florida, where he's got to go. So it's pretty obvious that he's going to go to AEW. Whether he's going to be with the Dark Order, I don't know, but I think he's AEW bound for sure.
Yeah, and I said this about a month ago, and I'll say it here. This is what I was going to say before. If he shows up in AEW, I guarantee you within 1 to 2 weeks, you'll have a majority of the internet, even those that don't like AEW, and they're going to say, Vince, WWE, how could you let this guy go? Like, as soon as he starts doing what made him so popular in Impact Wrestling that got him back in WWE, within 1 to 2 weeks, he's going to have that chip on his shoulder, not animosity for WWE, but let's be honest. I think Matt Hardy's feelings are hurt right now that he's got so much he can still offer in front of the camera. And WWE does not feel the feeling is, it's not mutual. And I'll say this as well. How I feel about WWE right now, it's like a 2-tier system. You have your main eventers and you have those that are slightly below. And then that second tier to the next tier, there is such a gap. And what I mean by that is, if you look, you got your AJ Styles, your Aleister Black, Randy Orton, Nakamura, Strowman, and others. That's like the second tier. That they could main event any house show, get a title from time to time, but they are pretty much the second tier. The first tier right now is your Roman Reigns, Bray Wyatt,
True.
Yada, yada. Lesnar, McIntyre is still probably between first and second tier. He's not first tier yet. They're building him to that, and the segment tonight on Raw was awesome. But when you go from that second tier to the next tier down, that was one thing that was so awesome about the Attitude Era. I hear everybody still say to this day that everybody had storylines, and they were good storylines. It wasn't just that. A person on the third tier could go toe-to-toe with someone on the second tier, and if they won, it wouldn't be such a shocking upset. Oh, my God. Everybody on that third tier is so far down on the WWE roster. Because WWE can't, even though they have 3 hours on Monday and 2 hours on Friday, they can't figure out how to put the tier 3 wrestlers into tier 2. And to me, Matt Hardy, WWE looks at him as a tier 3 wrestler. And they're not going to spend a lot of time on a tier 3 wrestler on television. So he wants to be creative. He wants to be broken. He wants to do this. He wants to have that. He have this. You look at anybody that's on that 3rd tier. I mean, Eric Rowan is probably between 2 and 3. And what does he get? He holds a cage, and he puts it on a ring steps, and he goes to check on it, which is about 10 seconds, and then he beats the crap out of someone. So Matt Hardy, they just don't, that's something that they cannot do well anymore. It's like tier 2 we'll spend a lot of time on, tier 1 we'll spend a lot of time on, but everybody else in that tier 3, we're going to give them a quick amount of time. That's why even a 24/7 title has really gone to crap. And Paul Heyman thought it was too comical, trying to put a little bit more relevance in it. Problem is, that title's already screwed. It's already a comic title.